What's the crack, guys? I'm the Minyon from AllCast Irish Gamers. This is my gamer tag and Master Duel. Drop yours in the comments and we'll get a game sometime. So yeah, this is my hand traps combo explanation video. I'm talking about the three main ones I run. We're going to start off with my boy, Effect Veiler. Kinda counterproductive because obviously I'm running the skill drain package, but trust me, Veiler will save your ass. He also works very well because he's level 1 tuner to get you into Borload Savage in the later gameplay once you actually load a few link monsters into your graveyard. But he's not just good for his actual effect, he's also very good for just baiting out a negate. So if you have a different hand trap that you're really relying on using and you want it to go through, you bait out that negate with the Veiler. Brilliant, they're going to fall for it hook, line and sinker. Wapow. They take out your Veiler, but your Nibiru is still good to go in your hand. Now, more often than not, he is going to go through and he is going to stop it, but it's focal that you hit the choke point. You have to hit the choke point, otherwise they'll just keep extending, keep going. You want to use Veiler at the right time and the right place. Now, I did have a more trap heavy setup for this deck, but with the amount of times that I lost the coin toss and just ended up going second, and once you've got an established board, getting your trap cards down, getting them activated the next turn, it's very hard to get anything done. Really is. So that's why I went more into the hand traps, because at least they're pretty much always live when you're forced to go second. And yeah, I mean, you could probably swap out Veiler for Imperm. It's usable on both turns, so it's got its uses, but then I'd have no way to go into Savage. Savage in and of itself could end up being a 1, 2, 3 card negate, so I do like that play in the later game because they just don't expect it. And with how easy it is to get Dark Magician on the field, you just normal summon your Veiler, or if Veiler's in the graveyard, you go into Selene. Selene brings Veiler out. Eternal Soul, get Dark Magician on the field, and you're going into Borload Savage. I mean, without Dragoon, it's kind of good having a negate on the field, you get me? But yeah, go with the trap build if that's what you like, but personally, I went with the hand traps. I just think they're better, they're more impactful. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of Caught by the Grave, especially when you get up around Platinum. I'm getting Caught by the Grave all the time, but that's more of a reason to double up on those hand traps. So you hit them with the Veiler. The Veiler is the bait. They hit the L Caught by the Grave, and then you drop your Nibiru or your Maxi or whatever you're running. I did put Droll and Lockbird in here for a time because I was just sick to the back teeth of Exodia decks, but I did take them back out for those torrential tributes. But stuff like Veiler, I love them. You gotta have them. Max C. There's a good reason why this card is not allowed in the TCG. This card is insane. I mean, the amount of advantage you can get off this card, especially if you're playing a very combo heavy deck. They're just going to keep special summoning. They're going to try and take the Maxi challenge. More power to them if they want to try that, because they're just going to give you so much card advantage. And yeah, I mean, there is the odd chance that you won't draw into the cards you need. They'll set up your board and just finish you anyway. But Maxi, man, this card has saved me so many times. It either shuts your opponent down, they just say nope, I'm just not going to summon anymore, and they just pass over turn and you can set up your board, or they will actually go, you know what, screw your Maxi, I'm playing through this bad boy. So they bring out their summons and they keep going, and they will be punished because of the other hand traps I have in this deck. I did have Ash for a time, but I just found Ash wasn't as much of a big blowout as some of these other cards. Like Maxi will just give you so much advantage. Gotta have it in there. It's a must. If it's legal, play it. If this card was legal in the TCG, I would be on Card Market buying 3 copies of it tonight. That's how good this card is. And I can see why it's banned, because yeah, it's probably not very healthy for the game. Everyone's going to be running it. It's going to be one of those trio staples in every deck. And you've only got one Caught by the Grave in the TCG, so at least in this you got 2. It kind of helps. I mean, you got Cross Out Designator as well, so if you're playing Max C, you want to be playing Cross Out as well. So that's 6 cards used up in your deck straight off the bat. But either way, we're back to Max C. Such a good card. Your opponent keeps summoning, they make that mistake, eventually you're going to draw into a card, and that card happens to be the bad boy asteroid Nibiru. And then it's just a matter of just wiping their board, summoning Nibiru, and that's for most decks, that's the end of their turn. He has 2 cards in hand. He's played through a lot of his extenders. Yeah, he has a decent board out, but none of them have monster protection, or well, monster negates. Sorry, they're going bye-bye. Nibiru on the field. Now, I made a bit of a misplay here. What I should have done, now, I did have Magician Souls, and I had Circle already set up, so I did have a way to out this token. But that token will come back to bite you in the ass if you are not careful. So, it's optimal you have a way to get rid of it if you're going to go down the route of Nibiru. Otherwise, I mean, yeah, it's got 8,800 attack. It's going to slam you pretty hard next turn. You really want to have an out to that token. Because the token, it could be worse than any type of board they're trying to set up, and you'll be the architect of your own demise, so to speak. But that is the handy thing about Dark Magician, is they've got these outs. They've got the Circle, Magician Souls, Eternal Soul. Loads of ways of getting cards on the field that will clear your opponent's board and get rid of that token, because that token, it's a big problem. You got stuff like Dark Burning Magic, that'll do the job as well, but I didn't really need it because this is game. This is my opponent messed up. They gave me too many cards with Max C. I got the Nibiru and I ended them. Now, I was running 2 Nibiru for this build, especially once I put fusion deployment in there, because sometimes you really want to get that Dark Magician just out of the deck as quickly as possible, especially if you're not going to draw into him or draw into Apprentice or Magician Souls, because this deck is so focused on getting Dark Magician either in your hand, graveyard or field that most of the time you just don't even see him. So I took out a Nibiru, I put in fusion deployment, I had the 2 Torrential Tributes in there, but I did mix it up for a while. I just got so sick of Drytron and these other decks that were just spamming monsters. I said, right, I'm going to put 3 Nibirus in there. But I was bricking on them. I was like drawing 2 in my first hand. I was like, is that needed? I mean, I've got the Max C. Max C will help me draw into him. I've got loads of draw power in here in the form of like Soul Servant and stuff. Magician Souls can send cards to draw as well. So you do have a good chance of drawing into him. And like I said, about that token, if you don't have a way to get rid of it, it will destroy you. So the best thing to do is put it in front of one of the extra monster zones, because at least then if you can get Dark Magician on the field, you can go into Imduk. Imduk has a cute little effect that people forget about, because he's usually just there to get rid of Dark Magician, but if he attacks a card that he's directly pointing to, he will destroy it before damage calculation. So it's a handy way of outing that token if you don't have something else to get rid of it. But these are the 3 powerful hand traps that you want to run in your Dark Magician deck, or any deck for instance. Well, thanks very much for watching. I've been the Minyon. Stick around for more combo tutorials and I'll see you then, guys. Take it easy.